hurried across the street for the saloon. Stepping inside, he took off his hat, then poured water from the crown as he looked around. For a town so small, the saloon was surprisingly full. It even had a piano, at which a piano player was grinding away in the back. More than half the patrons in the saloon turned to look at him, and as they realized he was not a local, even more turned to see who the stranger was in their midst. The barkeep moved toward him when Smoke stepped up to the bar. "Hope you ain't put out none by everyone looking at you, but we don't get a lot of visitors here, especially on a night like this." "A night like this is what drove me here," Smoke replied. The bartender chuckled. "Yes, sir, I see what you mean. What's your pleasure?" "I'd like a beer." "Yes, sir, one beer coming up." A moment later, the bartender put a mug of golden beer with a frothy head in front of Smoke. Smoke blew off some of the head, then took a long swallow. After a full day of riding, the beer tasted very good to him, and he took another deep drink before he turned his back to the bar to have a look around the place that called itself the Gilded Lily. A card game was going on in the corner, and Smoke watched it for a few minutes while he drank his beer. Smoke's peripheral vision caught someone coming in through the back door, and turning, he saw a tall, broad-shouldered man wearing a badge. Because he had just come in from the rain, water was dripping from the lawman's sweeping mustache. "I'm looking for a man named Emerson Pardine," the man said. One of the card players stood up slowly, then turned to face the man with the badge. "I'm Emerson Pardine. Who the hell are you?" "The name is Buck Wheeler, Marshall Buck Wheeler," he added, coming down hard on the word Marshall. "Yeah? Well, what do you want with me?" "I'm taking you back to Dodge City to stand trial for the murder of Jason Tibbs." "Dodge City is in Kansas. This is Colorado. You got no jurisdiction here." "Maybe I should have told you I'm a United States Marshal," Wheeler added. "I've got jurisdiction everywhere." "Yeah? Well, Mr. United States Marshal Buck Wheeler, I ain't going back to Dodge City with you," Pardine said. "Oh, you're going back all right," Wheeler said, "either sitting in your saddle or belly down over it." Realizing that a gunfight was very likely, the others who had been sitting at the table jumped up and moved out of the way, a couple of them moving so quickly that their chairs fell over. The marshal pulled his gun and pointed it at Pardine. "Now shuck out of that gun belt, slow and easy like," he ordered. Pardine shook his head. "No, I don't think so. I think maybe I'm just going to call you on this one." "Whatever you say, Pardine, whatever you say," the marshal replied. Smoke, like the others, was watching the drama unfold when he heard a soft squeaking sound, as if weight were being put down on a loose board. The sound caused him to look up toward the top of the stairs. When he did so, he saw a man standing there, aiming a shotgun at the back of the marshal. "Marshal, there's a gun at your back," Smoke shouted. Concurrent with Smoke's warning, the man wielding the shotgun turned it toward Smoke. "You sorry son of a bitch," he shouted. Smoke had no choice then. He dropped his beer and pulled his pistol, firing just as the man at the top of the stairs squeezed his own trigger. The shotgun boomed loudly. The heavy charge of buckshot tore a large hole in the top and side of the bar, right where Smoke had been standing. Some of the shot hit the whiskey bottles in front of the mirror and one of the nude statues behind the bar. Like shrapnel from an exploding bomb, pieces of glass flew everywhere. The mirror fell except for a few jagged shards, which hung in